Hey guys, I wanted to try something a little bit different today. I do a lot of art and illustrating as well as my video content. So I know that I have some people that follow me on Instagram, but I don't think it's the same people that are subscribed to me on YouTube. So I kind of wanted to cross promote a little bit and show you guys that I do some of my art too. So I was hoping to see if you guys would want to come along and see this type of video. I've gotten a request on how I ink a few times in the past, and I think I wanted to try to use this as an opportunity to share something with you guys. So let's check it out. Alright, so as you can see here, I already did get started a little bit. This is where I kind of got the idea that I wanted to do this with you guys. So you can see that I'm doing this piece here on Naruto Part 1. I'm basing it off of a Masashi Kishimoto piece. And so I am using a reference for this, but you can see I already started to do some of the coloring on Naruto, and then I will be doing the rest here with Sasuke and Sakura. And I just kind of wanted to show you guys the process. I just get asked sometimes about how I color on Instagram, like how my coloring is, and so I already did the sketching process and I already started some of the inking, but this is just kind of an idea to give you a glimpse of another side of some of the content that I can do and bring to the table here. So I hope you enjoy. See, sometimes you can find yourself in a situation like this where I don't really like how that shading turned out. It's not exactly the way that I would like it to. So I always find that sometimes when you can reblend over certain colors, you can fix those mistakes if you need to. We'll see how this turns out here. See, what I might have to do with Sasuke here is I might need to go a completely different way with how I was originally shading him in order to fix the kind of color balance that I like. So in the original piece, it's a lot lighter than this. But to balance it out here, I'm gonna go with a much darker shade for Sasuke. And try to see what I can do to fix it here. So as you could probably tell here, this is going to be a much darker look for Sasuke. But I kind of like how that's turning out now. I was going to go a little bit lighter with this part of the piece, but because I kind of mixed up those colors a little bit, and it didn't come out in the same way that I would like based on the shades, I needed to adjust a little bit. So I think the darker is going to work well, and I can always go back and fix the borders when I go over it with the black ink. So I like to do my colors first and then do the black inking at the end. I know that some people do it the opposite way, but I've noticed that sometimes if I go over the black with other colors, it kind of takes away the pop of it. But So here I'm just trying to do all the skin tones at the same time. I don't like to use the same colors or have to keep digging for the same colors. So one of the things I do is I try to use all the same colors as I can when I think I'll need it on a certain piece. And then I'll go back and, you know, if I make sure that I have all the colors taken care of on a piece, then I don't have to go back and dig through again. So here, I know that these characters might have different skin tones, but I'm working with what I have here, and I'm going to give them kind of the same skin tone. And then go back in and finish that off here. So I usually start with a darker when I go with skin tone, so then I can blend with the lighter color there. Especially because it's much lighter and the way it fades in. Now, I'm sure some of you might be panicking at first and thinking that I'm messing up the piece, but that's okay. This is really leaky for some reason. Now that should be drying a lot lighter, so if you guys are panicking because it looks like it leaked everywhere, which, you know, it probably leaked more than it should have, but this tends to come out darker and dry a lot lighter. So hopefully we can salvage that piece there. As you can see, I'm struggling a little bit with Naruto's hair. I don't have a lot of good yellows. I don't have a lot of yellows that are fitting here. With this, it's not sure. I might change that again. Sakura is going to be an interesting character, so I'm honestly not sure how I'm going to do her hair yet. I don't have a lot of great colors for Sakura, unless it's like a drastic shade difference. Let's try this. Let's try this for Sakura. This is probably going to be too bright for what I'm hoping for, but I'm hoping that if I go over it with this kind of a more dull shade that I have, I can fix it right up here. See, these little details will all be fixed when I do the black ink process, like when I go over it with the outlined inks. Alright. This is gonna seem absurd, but trust me. Trust me. Yes, I know that looks like shit. I do. But trust me. See? I don't have a darker shade of this color. So what I'm gonna do is improvise a little bit. Right, I'm taking this brown, which doesn't match. It looks gross, looks horrible. I get it. But then I'll go over with that same base color. But that's a way that I'll get that shading if I don't have those colors, so. Alright, so that is the 3 main characters inked so far. And then the next step is I'll do some of the background details. which isn't going to be too extensive or anything like that, but I'll bust out some of the background details and finish this piece up a little bit. Alright, so let's do some of these background details and finish this piece up. Normally, I don't really care for backgrounds that much. Honestly, I skip right past them, like 99% of the time. Unless it's like a commission piece or something. But in this case, I'll do this time. I think, like I mentioned before, I like to get all of the colors like that I need. If I don't miss anything, I do all the colors of one specific color at the same time, just because I don't like having to reach over, and I've mixed up colors in the past, so to avoid that, I will try to get as much done with a single color as possible and then put it away. Okay, so the very last part of this is just going to be touch-up outlines to the borders, to the backgrounds, and then we can call it good, I think. So let's just keep going. Alright, so, this is the piece, I guess. Got a couple of little touch-up things. I always, find things that I need to touch up later. So, for instance, I see these little towers. Right, so let me touch those up. These little cylinders, I guess. And then I always like to double check to make sure that I did everything that I needed to. I think I did. And what's the date today? It's not going up, obviously, the same date, but today is May 11th, so I'm gonna sign and date this, so 5/11/20. Let me just give it one more glance over, make sure that everything is all set. And there we go. That is how I go through and ink a piece of art. And I'm also one of those people that I'll go through and I'll see that there's like tiny little fixes to do. I'm never I'm never really satisfied with my pieces of art. For instance, I see that I could shade this here for Naruto's coat piece. So it's funny, sharing this with you guys is one of those opportunities for me to be like, oh, okay, like I could be more critical of the pieces of art that I'm doing, and I can go back and see what I want to fix and see what I want to do. Normally I don't do backgrounds like this, but I decided to do this. This was a piece that was a request. So, you know, my own little take on Kishimoto's Naruto characters based on one of his beautiful pieces of art, and colorized more my way. And I don't know, I hope that you liked this little insight into how I do my pieces of art, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you'd like to see more of how I do art or different processes that you like to see. I try to get the pencils done. My pencils are really rough, actually, so you know, you don't really get to see the finished product until the inking after I do the coloring. So yeah, this was fun. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, and like and subscribe and all that wonderful fun stuff, and I will see you next time. Hey, thank you guys for coming along on this art process with me. I hope you enjoyed the inking. You know, if you have any feedback on how I should modify it, it was hard to get the camera. I couldn't get the camera behind me, so I know that there's like an awkward side perspective, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. And keep in mind that on my Champion Edition Patreon tier, every month, all the champions will be put into a raffle where they will be randomized to get a piece of art, just like the one that you saw here. So I'll be making art for that specifically once that hits the ground rolling. So thank you so much for watching.